Hello. Today I'm going to read you a very special book. This is a book written by Mrs. Banks. Not Secretary Mrs. Banks, Mrs. Banks who used to work at school. And she and her mom have written this book all about a special fishing boat that lives at Port Isaac, and it's a true story. So when lockdown is finished, maybe you can go to Port Isaac and visit and see if you can spot Will and his dad Jack and their dog Connie on the Mary D. This is called Mary D and the Dolphins. Look at that wonderful drawing of Port Isaac. Welcome to the seaside village of Port Isaac in Cornwall. This is where Will, his dad Jack the fisherman, and his dog Connie all live. It was a bright May morning as Fisherman Jack, Will and Connie, the dog, all loaded the Mary D with newly baited pots ready to be dropped into the deep calm waters of the Atlantic Ocean. The sun shone out of a brilliant blue sky and the sea glittered like silver as the Mary D chugged out of the harbour. On mornings like this, there was no better job in the whole world. "This is the life, eh, Will?" declared his dad. "Aye, aye, Captain," replied Will, smiling. Will scanned the sea hopefully. This was the time of year when dolphins came to Cornwall. Suddenly he shrieked with joy. "Look, dolphins! Oh, Dad, let's go out there, please, Dad." "No need," replied Dad. "They'll come to us once they spot us. Besides, we've got work to do." To Will's great delight, the dolphins came close and raced alongside the Mary D, leaping in and out of the waves, their streamlined bodies glinting in the sunlight. Two dolphins swam to the front of the boat, into the wash created either side of the Mary D's bows. They were clearly enjoying riding along on the waves. The others swam behind them until the surfers dived under the boat and let two others take their place. "Oh, look, Dad! They're queuing up to take turns," laughed Will. The dolphins swam with the Mary D until Will and his dad reached the spot where they needed to drop the pots. Fisherman Jack hauled the pots onto the platform, ready for Will to press the button to shoot them off into the sea. Once the Mary D stopped, the dolphins swam off up the coast. Will waved a sad goodbye and then went to help his dad. When the last of the pots had sunk beneath the waves, Fisherman Jack handed Will an apple. "Time for a rest and a snack, Will, don't you think?" He took out his newspaper and put his feet up. Will watched the dolphins until they disappeared completely. Suddenly he gasped in horror as a huge fin appeared behind the boat. "Dad, Dad, look, a shark! It's huge and it's heading our way." Fisherman Jack woke up with a start. "Keep away from the side, Will, and hold on to Connie," he shouted as the fin came up close behind the Mary D. "Come and look at your shark, Will," Fisherman Jack laughed. "Don't worry, it won't hurt you." Will peered nervously over the side of the boat. "It's only half a shark," he exclaimed, amazed. The shark's body seemed to have been cut off behind its fin. "It's a sunfish, Will," said his dad. "It's huge, but it's quite harmless." "Has it got teeth?" asked Will, eyeing the gigantic creature suspiciously. "No, it doesn't need any. It only eats jellyfish and plankton," said his dad. There, look at that. Huge. The Mary D continued on its way, leaving the sunfish basking on the surface of the sea. "Time to finish the job," said Fisherman Jack, and steered the Mary D towards the flags showing where yesterday's pots were lying on the seabed. Will's mind was still on the dolphins, and he kept scanning the sea hopefully. "Dad," Will suddenly shouted in delight, "they're coming back! The dolphins are coming back!" To Will's surprise, the dolphins didn't swim by the Mary D's bows as before. Instead, 3 of them surfaced straight in front of the boat. They held their heads up and looked directly at Will and his dad. "Careful, Dad! You'll run them over," called Will. "Shoo!" yelled his dad, and tried to steer around the dolphins, but they swam in front of him again. 2 more dolphins were swimming round and round the boat, then starting to head back the way they'd been. "I think they're trying to tell us something," said Will. "Dad, I think they want us to turn them around and follow them." "We still have work to do," sighed Fisherman Jack, but he turned the Mary D round. Sure enough, the dolphins swam in front of them, heading up the coast. The Mary D followed close behind. They passed Tintagel Castle, legendary home of King Arthur and his knights. Just beyond the castle, the dolphins slowed down and swam close to the cliffs. Fisherman Jack switched off the engine and let the Mary D drift. "Now what?" he asked. "I think I can hear someone crying," said Will. "Listen." As the Mary D drifted closer to the cliffs, Will was amazed to see a young goat stranded on a rock surrounded by water. It was bleating, looking up at the cliff where its mother was standing helpless on a ledge. "Oh, poor thing! It must have fallen off the cliff," cried Will. He looked at the dolphins swimming around the rock. "The dolphins want us to save it, Dad." "Easier said than done," remarked Dad. "We can't take the Mary D any closer to those rocks. It's too dangerous." Then, in a flash, Will exclaimed, "But we can launch the life raft." "Good idea, Will," said Fisherman Jack. He anchored the Mary D safely, then lowered the life raft into the water. He and Will paddled in close to the rock. Will jumped out and stroked the frightened goat to calm her. "Bring her over to me," called his dad. He scooped up the kid in his arms. Now row us over to the cliff, Will, there's a good lad," said his dad. "Aye, aye, Captain," said Will, and he jumped into the life raft. Will heaved on the oars and rowed in close to the cliff. His dad lifted the baby goat onto the ledge beside its mother. "Job done," laughed Will's dad. "Let's go home." The goat nuzzled lovingly, and the 2 trotted off happily. "Thank you, dolphins," shouted Will. "You're amazing." It had been another big adventure for that little boat. The end. I hope you enjoyed that. See you soon.